Okay, the big race of the week is the King George VI Chase here at Kempton. It's a 3-mile Grade 1. Number 1 is Ashton, 2 is Bad Behaviour, 3 Battle for Sparta, 4 Driving Like Rain, 5 Fort Lauderdale, 6 Ivan Moody, 7 Mindshore Boy, 8 Mr. Bennett, 9 Napoleon Grey, 10 Pink Puerto, 11 Stormbird, 12 Sugar Climb, 13 Zangamba, 14 Stew Grey, 15 Digression, 16 Glimmer, 17 is Jingle Bells. Okay, quick question for you guys. What was King George VI, the last emperor of? Answer at the end of the race. Let's see if you get it right in the streams. Okay, they're away. So they go straight into the first here. These 3 miles. Everybody's over that. Picture quality is a little bit poor at the moment. We're having a bit of a Doug's fuzzy screen here. And horses are stopping and starting and jerking and everywhere, and they're all over the second as well, that open ditch. But it's Mr. Bennett that leads them. He likes to bowl along in front. From out wide is Pink Puerto in the centre of the track in second. Still losing some picture quality here, guys, so I do apologise if the comms don't come through too good. Then we've got Ivan Moody and Digression, and the Pink Silks are Stew Grey, and Fort Lauderdale, and the Grey Napoleon Grey, and they're ahead of Lapdog Cry, Sugar Climb, Battle for Sparta, Mindshore Boy, Zangamba, Glimmer, Stormbird. They're all together there. And we got just one at the rear is Driving Like Rain. Needs to be driving like a Formula 1 to get back into this. So they're all over the third. They're all still in it. We're having some really poor pictures here. It's like a very poor SIS stream. So we're over the fourth. Everybody takes that well. And Pink Puerto comes alongside Mr. Bennett to challenge with Fort Lauderdale and Digression. And a couple out wider, Napoleon Grey and Ivan Moody. And back to the rest of the pack, but all fairly close, bringing up about 10 lengths from start to finish. They take the fifth, and the ditch, and then everybody's over it. And it's Pink Puerto and Mr. Bennett that bowl along in front, just a length ahead of Fort Lauderdale. And we've got a length back to Digression, and the rest of the pack. So it's Mr. Bennett leads them into the real plain 6, and everybody gets over that as well. And the back now is Ashton and Glimmer. Driving Like Rain's made a little bit of ground. And the fence there at the back is Jingle Bells. That's a Christmas tune for everybody. So it's Mr. Bennett that leads them. From Pink Puerto, Digression, Fort Lauderdale, Stew Grey and the Pink Silks against the fence. Then we've got Mindshore Boy in the black. And they're just a length ahead of Battle for Sparta, Stormbird, Lapdog Cry, Bad Behaviour, Sugar Climb, Jingle Bells, Zangamba, Glimmer as the Grey at the rear along with Ashton. So Mr. Bennett's got the lead on its own now as it goes into the 7th. They all get over. No, we've lost one there. Lapdog Cry's gone. And see, his jockey threw him off. He looked like he was holding on to his kneecap. Let's hope his knees have not gone. So they take the 8th, which I think is going to be the last next time round as we're coming up to the stands here at Kempton. There's Mr. Bennett and Pink Puerto, and Digression, Stew Grey. They all take the 9th, and everybody's over that. We've got 10 to negotiate still. We go past the crowd. Not a particularly big crowd here for this Grade 1 event. Quite a long way away from the actual horses. So it's Mr. Bennett and Digression that's going to lead them off out for a circuit to go. And then we've got Stew Grey and the Pink Silks, Pink Puerto on the inside, and then Fort Lauderdale and the White Silks on the outside. A very highly fancied run of that. And the inside of that is Battle for Sparta. And behind that is Mindshore Boy and Napoleon Grey, the Grey. They take the water. Everybody's over that. 2 at the rear at the moment, Ashton and I think it's Jingle Bells. But it's still Digression and Mr. Bennett. Take them into the 11th. It's a plain one. Everybody's over that. Stew Grey was a bit slow, and one's just getting pulled up here. That's Jingle Bells. I think it's already been pulled up, and I think Ashton's going as well. So they take the next, the 12th. Everybody's no. I can't see if everybody's over that. No, we've lost. No, it's just some of the picture quality here, guys. I do apologise. It's a shame on such a big race. But it's Digression from Mr. Bennett. We've got Pink Puerto and Stew Grey, and followed through by Fort Lauderdale, Mindshore Boy, Battle for Sparta. Take this slight turn here. Still everybody in with a chance. Digression and Mr. Bennett bowl along in front. Mr. Bennett just being hurried along a little bit to maintain his lead. Digression putting him under a bit of pressure and just cruising a neck in front as they take the 13th. And it's not unlucky for some because everybody's over it. So we still bowl along. Mr. Bennett under a little bit more pressure now, wants to maintain the lead, gets over the 14th well, probably got a lead of a length now. Digression quite happy just to sit back in second. Then we got Fort Lauderdale Puerto, Mine Shore Boy, the one on the outside, Napoleon Grey, making up some good ground as they approach the 15th. Everybody's over that as well. The two at the rear are Glimmer and Ivan Moody. Mr. Bennett heads for home again. We've only got 5 furlongs and 3 or 4 left to jump. I'm not sure. It's Mr. Bennett from Digression. It's 4 left to jump. They're over the 16th. Everybody got over that. My pictures froze. I can't really see what's going on here, but it's Mr. Bennett that leads them from Digression, from Napoleon Grey. Fort Lauderdale's under pressure, so is Stu Graham. Bad Behaviour. The one making some good ground is Sugar Klein on the outside, but Mr. Bennett's still going to lead them. From hard pushing now, Napoleon Grey and Digression. Then we've got Fort Lauderdale, Bad Behaviour, Stu Gray and Sugar Klein. They come to the 17th. It's Mr. Bennett that's going to probably rise first. From Bad Behaviour, Fort Lauderdale, Napoleon Grey's not got anything left and went too early. They take the 17th. The 3 jump it together. Bad Behaviour, Fort Lauderdale, Mr. Bennett, Digression. Bad Behaviour heads for home. He's got a length advantage over Fort Lauderdale. Digression sticking on. Mr. Bennett also trying to find some ground. It's going to be between these 4, but Bad Behaviour's pulled well ahead here. Still got a furlong left to run. They're over the last. Bad Behaviour took a little bit slow. Fort Lauderdale's making up some good ground here. Here comes Fort Lauderdale. Half a furlong left to run. Fort Lauderdale pushes for in front. Well timed by the jockey. Fast finishing Digressions. Just maybe got up for second with Bad Behaviour. And I think Mr. Bennett, the long time leader, was 4th. Apologies for some of the graphics there, guys. It is Fort Lauderdale for Paul Rhodes. Well fancied horse there, wins it. 2nd was Digression for Carl Arroganti, a really good run. 3rd, Bad Behaviour, Leon van Rensburg. 4th was Mr. Bennett, Obi-Wan's long-time leader. And 5th, Battle for Sparta, Joshua Sutherland. Poor old Stu Gray finished 10th. Bad luck there, Derek. I'm not sure if anybody got those 3 horses in your tipping competition. It could well be being carried over to next week's big race.